They did. They took their time with this, man. And it's free. They took their absolute time with this. I feel like if this game was like $70, it wouldn't have got as much recognition. It would have been a good game still, but I don't think it would have got as much recognition. Wait. Did you just click on my video? That's dope. That's dope. God bless. I hope you're having a good day. Let's get to the video. Roll it! I had this sitting in my watch later for some time now, but I genuinely want to see, because you know, IGN's ratings are very iffy on games. And this game is popping right now. But a month ago, I want to see, what did IGN think a month ago? How was they feeling? I was going to scrap it, but I was like, nah, I want to see this. I want to see what they think about this game. Let me know in the comments. Are y'all having fun with Marvel Rivals? I'm having an excellent time. I already got a good amount of hours in with my duelist. I'm about to say One Punch Man. Iron Fist, and I'm going to move over to healer and then tank, you know, get good with those characters. I know y'all probably like, nigga, this game been out mad long, bro. I'm already 100 hours deep, nigga. I probably doing shit outside of the game. I can't like.
I'm not new to the hero shooter genre, having pumped well over 1,000 hours into Overwatch since its 2016 release. And it's hard not to feel like 2016 is exactly when Marvel Rivals was meant to be a thing. I should have been eagerly awaiting its launch while mourning the loss of Harambe.
I remember when I was a kid, man. I could do it now, but I just gotta be real precise with my time. I remember just dumping hours upon hours into video games. Do y'all remember, I was about to say Titanfall. Do y'all remember this game? I'm so sorry I'm straying away, but y'all gotta really lock in with me. Do y'all remember this Xbox game from 2010? What was it called? Oh my goodness, Xbox game with Goliath? I can't remember it.
Witnessing a low point in English football at the hands of Iceland, and crucially, riding the high of watching Captain America Civil War. That said,
I want to remember it so bad. I think it came out the same time as FIFA 17. I'm editing this. Fuck it. I gotta find that. Oh my goodness, bro. I'm just scrolling through these games right now and memories is just whooping my ass right now. I remember a lot of Sunset Overdrive. Insomniac made this. And then they switched over to PlayStation because they wasn't putting respect on his name. Yo, this fucking game was so good. They tweaking. It's funny, that game good as hell. I never finished it. Tough. Connect. Oh. I'm not going to find it, y'all. It was literally an Xbox game with monsters. It was an Xbox game where there were like 4 characters. There were like 4 characters and the characters would have to fight the monster. Like it was like 4 characters and they had to find the monster, but the monster was a real player too. Oh my goodness.
What we're getting in 2024 is a very fun hero shooter that I've had a great time with thanks to a chunky roster of varied heroes, as well as some solid maps and modes. What remains to be seen, however, is whether Rivals will find a fervent fanbase like both Blizzard and Marvel did all those years ago, a task most hero shooters have struggled with recently. But with a high level of care in each of its comic book characters, exciting.
They did. They took their time with this, man. And it's free. They took their absolute time with this. I feel like if this game was like $70, it wouldn't have got as much recognition. It would have been a good game still, but I don't think it would have got as much recognition. Everybody's playing it.
In combat for all skill levels and a relatively generous free-to-play model, Rivals is doing all it can to buck that trend.
Come on.
Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. Just ask Taskmaster. And it's not out of line to say the footprints of Overwatch really can be seen everywhere you step in Marvel Rivals. It's 6v6 ensembles of tank, damage and support equivalent classes, here called Vanguard, Duelist and Strategist respectively, battle it out in the familiar escort and point capture modes that become hero shooter staples. You'll either be pushing Marvel themed payloads through familiar locales like Wakanda, preventing them from reaching their destination, or battling for possession of a contested zone in the center of a map. There's no reinvention of the wheel going on here, but these are battle-tested tug-of-war modes that act as an effective vehicle for Rivals' superpowered action. Look, I know I'm banging on a bit about Overwatch here in a Marvel Rivals review, but it doesn't take more than a match to see why for yourself. Even its menus and UI bear a resemblance to Blizzard's hero shooters as uncanny as the X-Men. But while not being the most original, it's hard to bemoan some of the hero designs, seeing as many are simply following following fun archetypes with roots stretching all the way back to Team Fortress 2. It's also really nice to see superhero character designs that understand and embrace their comic book origins, rather than the Suicide Squad approach of handing everyone assault rifles.
Man, they did such a good job. Every character is unique. I feel like you can get good with every character. Like, there are very difficult characters like Spider-Man, but I feel like you can get good at every character. We saw the top nigga that was using Spider-Man. His name start with an N. Nigga's a nymphomaniac on the game.
And what seems like simple imitation at first can sometimes reveal itself to be more inspired beneath the surface. Psylocke's mutated mixture of up-close and ranged damage options are flashy and fun, as is Healer DPS hybrid Cloak and Dagger's shape-shifting suite of tricks. And Loki's complex decoy-centered systems are a challenge to manage on the battlefield. It's pretty impressive to launch with a roster as large as 33 and for very few, if any, to feel completely redundant, with a good mix of faces seen from match to match.
Maximum pulse! Nobody can hang with the pulse cannon!
While none are completely redundant picks, I've not enjoyed many of the tanky Vanguard heroes I've tried out yet, as they largely rely on getting stuck in where the action can get a bit chaotic as colour and noise floods the screen. They each play more like DPS heroes with bigger health bars, rather than valuable anchors that help the team secure a point. It's early days, but so far there appears to be a lack of emphasis placed on positioning and map awareness in general, instead of putting the focus on taking enemies on head first. On the whole, that means Vanguards are a collection of painfully slow-moving targets that can deal damage, but act just as effectively as giant damage sponge distractions. Thankfully, the majority of the roster plays much better. I've been having a great time with Punisher's chattering turret that rips through enemies, Winter Soldier's hard-hitting hand cannon, and Close Quarters cybernetic arm which prove a deadly duo, and Hawkeye's signature bow and arrow toolkit, complete with a highly satisfying headshot pinging sound effect. Look, I loved it with Hanzo, and I love it here. I've also been enjoying dashing around as Star-Lord. He's an exciting glass cannon that, thanks to his stripped-down moveset of dual SMGs and a speed boost coupled with a small health bar. Developer NetEase has a few other nifty tricks up its sleeve to make rivals play just a little differently to hero shooters that have come before. Chief among those are team-up abilities.
You see my dog.
Little differently to hero shooters that have come before. Chief among those are team-up abilities.
Got something that needs to be blasted?
For example, when Star-Lord is paired with Adam Warlock, he's granted a self-revive on a long cooldown. These passive and active combos are a clever twist, and so far feel nicely balanced between momentum shifters when used correctly.
I feel like this whole game is balanced. I've never seen anything overpowered Planet. I can't think of any.
Without becoming complete game changers that make you feel like a slave to them when choosing heroes or villains at the start of a match. Other examples include picking Rocket Raccoon when your team has a Groot, which allows for the mouthy rodent to literally add bark to his bite as he hops on his tree friend's back and rains fire down from there, granting him incoming damage reduction.
Ready for a boost?
It encourages smart team construction without leaving characters behind or feeling guilt-tripped by others for not matching their incessant requests to team up. Add these synergistic systems to the much appreciated lack of stun lock abilities, and Marvel Rivals really sings when the wheels are in motion. This is a hero shooter that wants you to liberally use the powers it.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Snow, the healer, she pairs with Iron Fist. They have a team up. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. I think so.
It grants, with barriers, both in a literal and metaphorical sense, coming at a premium. I was skeptical of the third-person gunplay at first, as traditionally I much prefer to be firing from a first-person perspective, but Rivals does a good job at keeping each weapon feeling distinct from one another and satisfying to wield.
You made your last mistake.
It may appear approachable, but the skill ceiling definitely seems high, with a surprisingly steep learning curve for newcomers as you pick between characters with over half a dozen abilities to juggle. And there's no place to hide, or help the team in a less combative sense either, with one-on-one skirmishes taking precedence over actual team play right now. A lack of role queue clearly contributes to this, with teams often comprised of 4 to 6 duelists. While that lack of restriction is freeing and allows for flexibility, the Wild West approach does mean you're relying on teammates to be smart with their team composition, which can be asking a lot. Rarely are tense overtime battles between two balanced sides seen, with
and niggas I be on a 1v1. Like me being a duelist, obviously it's best for you to play the either stay close with the team or like play the sides. Try to get them when they're not looking. So I be going after the healers and the duelists a lot. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell I was going with that. I was about to say something. Damn, I forgot what I was about to say.
Clear victories are likelier outcome.
Epic victory! Big win!
Another step towards innovation
Oh, that's what I was saying. Like, I be getting into a lot of 1v1s with the duelists and the healers, because I be trying to take out the healers quick as hell, and then, you know.
be seen in the destructible environments of the maps you'll be battling on. Whether that's the sci-fi walls of Tokyo 2099 caving in to unveil new sniping spots, or the stone bridges of Isgard crumbling down to remove an enemy's position of strength. It's a smart approach to map design, one that allows for choke points to be circumnavigated in interesting ways, keeping each round feeling dynamic compared to the last. That destruction is really needed at times as well, because while I enjoy the initial pool of maps, I do wish they were a little more open in their layouts. Currently, some can feel a little claustrophobic due to an overabundance of interior corridors and choke points, especially in the payload variants.
What the hell, man? Scarlet wish she could just latch onto somebody, and what is that?
Each level is also visually distinct enough to deliver a genuine sense of variety, and it's all unequivocally stylish to boot. Comic book flourishes such as the frame burst animation of Star-Lord's blaster barrage ability, or Banner's transformation into Hulk really stand out.
I'm hulking. Ow!
The whole package is impressively constructed, looks glossy, and feels good to play. It's confident in its own identity enough to be able to shake off the rip-off label, even if it also never displays the sort of ambition that something like Valve's Deadlock is bringing to the hero shooter cum MOBA party in 2024. It does though have the money-spinning Marvel license and free-to-play model behind it to hopefully avoid another Concord-like disaster. That model is supported by microtransactions
that Marvel and it's free to play. Like, who don't like Marvel? Even though Marvel been on a cold streak, who don't like Marvel though?
that are entirely optional to fully enjoy Rivals action. I've already seen many different custom looks being shown off in matches, with some desirable ones based on fan favourite comic books and movies coming up with regularity. I'm not saying the developers deliberately made the base Wolverine skin look like a hairy block of cheese to make you want to have him look like Hugh Jackman, but that option is there. Cosmetics currency can be earned through completing in-game challenges and in turn exchanging it for another currency on the battle pass, but at a snail's pace. Meaning if you really want to switch up your look, you're realistically gonna have to pay for it. Considering the rest of
I'm not mad at them for that. I'm not mad.
Rivals is completely free to play, I'll hold off on the cynicism slightly when it comes to this. Sure, the skins are expensive, coming in at around $15 to £15 a pop, but nothing out of the ordinary when compared to competitors like Overwatch and Call of Duty. And at least it's all cosmetics, with every hero unlocked right from the start. This is a huge plus, and let's hope it stays that way as Rivals relies on the fun of its action to keep us interested on a seasonal basis. Neither the MCU nor the hero shooter genre are at the glorious heights experienced by both in the past decade, but that isn't stopping Marvel Rivals from doing everything it can to be a success story today. Approachable, yet with a high skill ceiling to reach for, it's consistently a great time no matter which fan favourite comic book character and accompanying skill set is at your fingertips. It may be closely following in the slipstream of hero shooters that have come before it, but by doing so, Rivals has firmly placed itself in a strong position to take the crown for itself.
8. I feel like it should be a 9.
For more video game reviews, check out what we thought.
8. I feel like it should be a 9. Game is way better than it had any business being. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, because people weren't like people didn't know what to think about this game. When I first heard it coming out, even when I saw the trailer, people weren't like, "Oh, this is gonna be the game." Da da da. Rather than a Suicide Squad approach of handling everyone in an assault rifle. Nah, yeah, Suicide Squad. It's crazy. I got Marvel's Avengers. I got Suicide Squad on my game. I should just like download it just to see like what it's like. Just to do it for a damn video. I actually might do that just for a video. So they gave it an 8. I would have gave it a 9. I wouldn't have gave it a 10 just off the simple fact if we're talking about like a game, like a super great, excellent fire game. A 10, man, they gotta have all the bases like. The microtransactions, I understand why they did it, but still, if we trying to give you a 10, we're talking about the consumer. It'd be nice if we were able to earn every microtransaction instead of paying, but how are they going to make money? I understand. More maps, Other than that, like that's just a nitpick though. That's just a nitpick. Like I'm not mad at them for the microtransactions. That's just a nitpick because it's free. Marvel Rivals, man. Yo, Overwatch. Shout out to Overwatch, though. I ain't never played, but where you at? You actually finished my video. I don't know if you watched a lot or a little, but I appreciate you. I'm gonna see you on the next video. I'm out!